forgive me, Adrian Vicuni, if I've got your name wrong. But your question, it's the first obvious one. Why White Buffalo?
The name came from some friends thinking that I needed a stage name years ago, probably 15, almost 20 years ago, thinking that, I needed some kind of a stage name, just thinking Jake Smith was so...
unflamboyant?
Yeah, yeah, or unmystical, or there's no mystery behind it. And I always liked, I don't know, I grew up with bands that you didn't know a whole lot about, and now in the kind of social media age of everything, everybody, from what they eat breakfast to, what time they go to bed or whatever. But, and I wanted to allow it to be something grander. It could be me solo, it could be a band, it could be a whole ensemble of things. So I didn't want to limit it to just being the idea of one person, to have it be something bigger.
Yeah. Theo Pittman, you seem to be very passionate about music. Who's inspiring you? I guess let's talk about very early on then. You kind of mentioned you loved Queen and you loved punk rock. Maybe the bands.
Well, I grew up on country music. We would go to country concerts as a child. That was like one of our family outings. It was what we did. And I got super into punk and hardcore in high school. But I mean, now not even now, but songs has always been and even in those respects, even the old country, some of the old country songs are great. I mean, writers like Chris Christopherson or
amazing
Merle Haggard, or there's a bunch of Tom T. Hall, Roger Miller, like some of the stuff that I grew up on. Amazing songwriters, I mean, country now, pop country is really pop, and it's kind of very formulaic and very calculated.
Yeah.
And it just kind of seems like you can sing about 6 things or whatever. So it's different now. Country music, I think, is different. But yeah, and then people like Townes Van Zandt, John, who else? Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, like just kind of the songwriter greats, or at least in my mind.
What was the very first, if you went to shows as a family when you were little, what was the very first show that you saw? Do you remember? Did it make a big impact on you?
I don't remember what the first one was. I saw so many country concerts from when I was, very quite little to, my teenage years, and when I stopped going. Even when I was a teenager, I would go every once in a while. But I saw George Jones, Tammy Wynette. I'd even seen, like, when it started, they were still songs, like Randy Travis.
Yeah.
Clint Black, I think I've seen. Travis Tritt.
It's a good foundation,
Yeah, I didn't get a guitar till I was quite older. So
yeah,
I didn't
19?
get a 19. So it was kind of cool, though. But I had this kind of expansive listening. Not really expansive, though, really. I mean, there was some rock and roll and some stuff. I still had, we still had Huey Lewis in the news and Hall & Oates and stuff, on the radio. And but I was pretty much country and punk.
Mm-hmm.
And then got really into, like, songwriters. But it was a nice, I don't know, when not coming from a musical background, really, but listening to music and absorbing music, that I think I was absorbing that when it was time to then, for me to say, okay, what's going to come out? And that's what came out, I think, just naturally.
Dan Harmon, first lyric you can remember writing, was it really bad? You remember the first lyric you wrote? And be honest about it.
The first lyric. I remember the first song I wrote. Even from initially, I wrote songs that were narratives that were often character driven.
Right.
I think the first song I wrote, what was it called? I think it was called The Jumper, and it was about, like, this guy commits suicide, jumps off a building.
How what? So you would have been what, 18, 19?
I once I learned, I think I knew 2 chords. That I remember it was like like it wasn't even a chord. I was just like going up the thing. I don't remember. I don't know if I remember a specific lyric.
How did the jumper go? Can you remember anything about it? I really want to hear the song now.
No, they weren't nearly as crafted as I think the songs are today, but it was, though. It was still in a kind of a narrative style, and it would have kind of a beginning and of what happened to this guy and why he, was going to jump off the building. But yeah, I mean, initially they were all kind of teen angst, like kind of
Nobody
more about
understands
society and like less kind of specific or less content. I mean, even today though, like my songs are, I try to take kind of human stories, but then have it maybe, be thought provoking or have you think about grander themes.